Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I want to talk to you about some new releases, whether I'm picking them up or not, as well as some releases that I've already picked up. As you guys know, I do giveaways every 1,000 subscribers, so make sure that you're subscribed for that. So remember in my previous video I discouraged everyone from getting the new hoodie. Well, surprise surprise, other people that did pick it up also said it was pretty bad. But if you want to know what I did actually pick up of, such as the Melt Beetlejuice collection and my thoughts on that, as well as the KKW and the Nabla collection, we're definitely going to talk about all those. So I know KKW came out with another neutral palette for the holidays, but when I picked up Hourglass from Ulta, I was so excited, and the quality of it just blows any other brand out of the park, and especially it's so nice to be able to get all that with points. So we're definitely going to be talking about that. But I will tell you one thing I didn't pick up, and it might be no surprise, is the Grinch Kylie Jenner collection. Now this PR box is about $3.75, and I get it. I get that people are into nostalgia and they'll buy anything for nostalgia, but I have to admit I bought the Melt Beetlejuice collection because I was into the nostalgia. Not only do I have no nostalgia for the Grinch, I also have no nostalgia for ColourPop quality. I would only be drawn in for the greens, but I already have the Baby Yoda ColourPop green, and I feel that beyond that, this is not even offering that much greens. The liners don't draw me in, but I could justify the price with Melt because their liners are good and their products in general are pretty decent for what you're getting. But ColourPop and Kylie, every year when I do my ranking videos, they end up at the bottom of the list. So all I'm going to say is it really depends how much you're into Kylie and how much you're willing to pay extra for your ColourPop product. For me, the Melt one was worth it because I'm really into their liners, and I think the products are actually good quality there, whereas I don't feel the same about ColourPop. It's been a little hit or miss for me, and I just don't have any nostalgia for the Grinch, so I guess that's a good thing because then I'd be spending more. But unfortunately, this collection altogether, it's a big pass. But yeah, let me know if you guys ended up picking it up. The next new release I want to talk about is the new Violet Voss Forget Me Not palette, which is one of their smaller palettes, and it's an all blue palette. If you look up all blue palettes, you'll find a lot of videos, and there's a reason why all blue palettes end up becoming unsuccessful in the end. If you guys have seen my earlier videos, I did a video about why all blue in general is not flattering on people, and it's usually used for villains in movies because you don't really see major celebrities wearing blue all the time. It's just a very unflattering, kind of ages people in a way, unless you're pairing it with darker or more neutral colors. And I know neutrals are boring, but this is another release from ColourPop, which I already forgot the name, and another release from KKW, which I also forgot the name because there's just so many neutral palettes out there. But I managed to grab one of the neutral palettes that was just recently brought to my local Ulta, which is the new KKW palette that comes with a liner, and there's nothing really new or groundbreaking about it. At the end of the day, these companies are forced to make new products all the time. Only so many combinations of neutral that you can get. So another palette I don't recommend, and it really doesn't, the liner doesn't even show up on my skin. Now let's get to the exciting part. As you guys know, Hourglass came to Ulta, and I feel that my makeup dreams have come true because you can basically get all of these for free with points. I always recommend it to people to get their hair done at Ulta, buy as many things at Ulta because the point value is just so great, and I really don't get any sponsorships from them, or nor do I get any PR on this channel from anyone, but I'm just glad to be able to afford this collection just with points and all the products. Now, while they didn't bring all the major palettes to Ulta quite yet, but they do have their major players in there, and I feel that you can just create the most natural, flattering look with just these products. And again, I'm not sponsored, and nor have I received any kind of payment from anyone to promote their products, but in general, I'm quite happy with everything they've released. I think the mascara is really good, and the bronzers and highlighters are pretty good. Now, they do get repetitive after a while, like Benefit. If I was recommending a whole brand to someone, this would be the brand.
And I disagree with the YouTuber that said that Hourglass is too superior for Ulta. I think Ulta should not be seen as just a drugstore place, and I'm really glad that they incorporated Hourglass in there. And I can see that Sephora is really trying to get their customers from them, but they're not going to succeed, at least not with me. These small promotions are a little too late for me. Honestly, I can't remember when I bought Hourglass directly from Sephora. I've been buying it directly from the Hourglass website, so it's actually very convenient to have it at Ulta. And as you guys know, Ulta is also coming to Target, so I don't see a problem with making these products available to most people as opposed to just having it at a snobby store like Sephora. If you're wondering why I'm not going into the detail of each product, I still haven't had a chance to
play with all of them so far, but I'll give you my thoughts in another video on a separate product. So the next item that I wanted to talk about is the Nabla Cosmetics side-by-side palette. I know I'm a little bit late to this review and a lot of people have already reviewed it and they love it. I would say yes, the quality of this palette is pretty good. It's almost, the color story reminds me of the Biba palette by Natasha Denona, but it's not as creamy as the Natasha Denona palette, and at the same time it's not as disappointing as, let's say, I don't know, like a BH Cosmetics or a ColourPop palette. You are getting what you're paying for. I think the price for this was like $36 and it already sold out on Ulta. Now the thing I didn't like about Nabla's latest release was this glitter palette. I guess I'm just not a glitter person, and pressed glitter is just not my thing, so I'm not really on board with that. Now the next collection is Crayon Case came out with a big box eyeshadow rainbow palette in the middle of the holiday season, and they're asking for $55.99 for 64 shades. I don't know about you, but really I'm not really into rainbow shades at the moment, and with all the drama that was going on last year with, was it 2 years ago, with Sephora, Moschino copying them, and the whole like gimmicky aspect of their releases, I don't know if I want to reach out for an eyeshadow palette that looks like a box of crayons. Just not my personal taste anymore. I think, you know, the more you collect, the more you start getting picky about what you actually need in your collection. And with that being said, I'm definitely not going to be picking up the new Glam Lite Paint Pro palette.
If you look at both palettes side by side, can you spot the difference between the old release and the new release? So the previous one was called Paint and this one's Paint Pro. And if you look closely, this one's just a little bit lighter in every single shade. So think of it as like before it was more like basic colors, just basic natural green, natural red, and now we're looking at more like neon reds, neon greens, neon blues. I'm not quite sure why I would need this palette. If you take away the background, it looks very similar to the cake palette or the ice cream palette, and none of these really interest me. I'm not really interested in gimmicky style I'm just not really interested in any of these. So anyway, so the next collection I want to talk about is the Dirty Dancing collection. Now nothing from this collection looks like Dirty Dancing inspired except for the sponge there, which I'm sure I don't care about looking at when I'm using makeup, so this one is a total pass for me. I'm not picking that up. The next one is the Starry Night collection by Storybook Cosmetics, and my goodness, these guys have been working on this palette for many years. We're not able to see any swatches yet. I wish they would have just shown the display or the layout of what it's going to look like, but so far I don't know, it's too little too late for me. And same thing, I was talking about blue palettes in general. I'm not super inspired by it, but I could still work with it. I don't know, I feel like I'm probably going to pass on this one too. So the next one is lunarbeauty Eternal Eclipse palette, and I've seen a lot of bluey silvery palettes making a comeback. Again, I'm not really super excited, but I am noticing a trend of bluey silver palettes making a comeback, and I'm not quite sure how to feel about it, because especially in Wayne Goss's palette, I noticed that his first palette color story was very similar to the By Terry by Day palette, and then when he came out with his blue palette, it looked very similar to the By Terry by Night. So it looks like he followed the same route as By Terry. And I already own these palettes, so I'm not really interested in any of these Wayne Goss palettes, and especially the fact that he wants to include black in every palette. I'm not sure if that's the best way forward. But anyway, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.